As many of you will know, I love to ride my bike. However, even in this sporting escape from maths, somehow the maths always creeps in. So let's take a look. Welcome to Mr. Findlay Goes Cycling, and then relates it to some maths. I'm sure I'm not the only person to have gone out round Pennycook and found that it's pretty hilly for cycling. So there are hills here. There's one there, there's some over there, there's a lot over there. And most importantly for us just now, there's one that goes between Poulton and Lone Head. Very steep little hill called Poulton Bank. So what we're going to see is that on Poulton Bank there are some warning signs. You get warned of horses, you get warned of wiggly corners, you get warned of boomerangs, but most importantly, you get warned about 12%. Now this 12% warning is not some bizarre kind of maths warning just coming up on the road. It's telling us something. Is it the percentage of insanity that you require to ride up it? Or maybe the chance of death on the descent? Fortunately, neither of those two are actually true. It is in fact a slightly bizarre way of talking about the gradient of the hill. Let's go on location and let's see if we can start to understand what it actually means. Okay, so here we are at Poulton Bank, which is one of the steepest hills in Mid Lothian. There will see steeper signs than this, but actually this one shows 12% over there, and it's the steepest continuous gradient. So what we're going to do is we're going to cycle down and up, we're going to measure a few things and see what the gradient actually is, and see whether we can measure it using the maths that we know. So what you're about to see me do is to measure two key things. Now we said that gradient is how far up we go over how far along we go. And I've actually got a handy little laser measurer and a spirit level with me here where I can measure how far along it is and how far down it is, and then we can divide one by the other to find out our gradient. So you'll see me doing the measurements. So sped that bit of video up, but you'll see those two measurements happen and then we'll calculate a gradient. Okay, here goes. I have sped this up, so here I am measuring along, and we get a measurement. It's 6.742 meters, perfectly horizontal until the laser hits the road. And now let's measure down. So here we go, and we get that measurement, and that's 0.851. Now let's do our calculation. Up over along, there's our two numbers. And that gives us a magic gradient, which is 0.126. Now let's remember, we wanted to think about this as a percentage. Percentage is out of 100, so we can times that by 100, so we get 12.6%. Just a fraction over what the signpost at the top promised us. A little more cycling up and down, and I found this other stretch of road on Poulton Bank. Now again, I got my equipment out and measured how far up it was to my handlebars and how far along it was to the road, and this time my measurements were 7.382 meters along and 0.88 meters up. Divide one by the other, up over along, we get 0.12 to the two decimal places. That is beautifully accurately 12%. Now not all of this slope is 12%, and I've seen some bits are a wee bit steeper and a wee bit less. But the signpost at the top is giving us a feel for the kind of gradients we can expect on our hill. Hopefully, therefore, we're now equipped to understand what this 12% sign means. Really, it should say, in maths terms, a gradient of 0.12. And actually, that makes a lot more sense. Now, I was actually standing at the top of the hill in Lone Head, so I want to make one other adaptation. Because I was about to go downhill, not uphill. So it should have said minus 0.12. Ah, that's better. A good mathematical gradient signpost. Before I finish though, let's look at a couple of other possible gradients. Now, if I was to find a 25% sign, well, what does that mean? 25% is the same as a quarter, or 0.25. So if I go 1 meter up, 4 meters long, 1 divided by 4 gives me 0.25. A 33% hill, It's like 1 meter up and 3 meters along. 1 divided by 3 is 0.333. That's about as steep as any road in the whole of the UK. A 50% hill. Now, you will never see that on a road because it's steeper than any road you'll be able to find, but it would be 1 meter up and 2 meters along. And in fact, it's possible even to have a 100% hill. Be careful, that's not a vertical slope. That's just one that goes 1 meter up and 1 meter along. 1 divided by 1 is 1, which in terms of percentages is 100%. Now actually, 100% hill, you could still walk up 100% hill. It would be hard. And some brave souls in Innerleithen might even be willing to mountain bike down 100% hill. But you certainly won't find me riding up one.